Hello. In this part, I'm going to be giving you all a complete overview of the Sandbox game, walking you from zero to hero. Even if you have no idea about the blockchain or crypto gaming or any of that, I want to explain you to exactly why the Sandbox is such a cool and revolutionary metaverse site. I'm going to help you understand it from a fundamental level. Well, so that you know what's going on, and then finally explain to you how to both play and profit of the Sandbox, because that is one of the really cool things about these play to earn games. We actually get rewarded from time to time. I jumped in this metaverse world as a player, which is super exciting thing. We are going to start with the basics, just to catch those of you who are new, and for those of you who are already familiar with the whole plate, are in space and just want to learn more specifically about the Sandbox itself, you can skip ahead to using the timeline and the description, but for the rest of you, let's get you up to speed. So in this video you will hear me use a couple of terms that you need to understand. The first is blockchain. Now, blockchain essentially just means a public ledger that everyone can see. And when an item moves on that public ledger, every single copy of the ledger is updated. You can think of it like a Google Doc. So a blockchain is just public Google Doc that is very hard to change. It has to be validated, and then when it updates for everyone. So it's a decentralized, no one controls it and everyone can see it. And that allows for real ownership in virtual worlds. So then of the blockchain, two things exist. One that you will hear me talking about in this video is NFTs. NFTs, you just need to know, stand for anything in the metaverse. It can be an endgame item, it can be a character, it can be a weapon, it can be a pieces of land. It can just be anything that is unique and exists on the blockchain and can be actually owned by people. So NFTs, they are just things in the metaverse, and then cryptocurrency is another term that you will hear, or just crypto or coin or token. And oftentimes what we are referring to is the currency that is inside the game world. So it can be like sand, particularly in this video. Sand is currency of the Sandbox and once again exists on the blockchain. It is real limited, variable and decentralized. So no one organization, not even the Sandbox, controls the sands. Now they might control a percentage of it if they have like a war chest, but sand itself is contractually. So you know there is a limit to that inflation. What really matters is it's an endgame currency that you can change for US dollar or whatever your local currency is, and you can pay rent with it.
Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are coming in a
it's
big
like
way,
real earning.
but they're not quite here yet.
What we mean by
All from within the
cryptocurrency?
platform.
It is just
No
the
income
game
checks,
currency.
no credit checks,
That's
and
real
no
money.
origination fees.
Now that those of you who are new are catch up to speed, let's jump into our getting started guide / overview of this really awesome called the Sandbox. To start off, very simply, Sandbox is a community-driven platform where creators can monetize voxel assets and gaming experiences on the blockchain. So the way that I like to think about it is kind of like Roblox, or a little bit like Minecraft, or a mix between those games that exist on the blockchain using the same technology that validates Bitcoin or Ethereum, which is really cool. So the Sandbox is made up of 4 key components. The first key component is Vox Edit, where you can create and animate voxel art, which you can export anywhere. And this means that you can create creatures or items or things for your gaming world and you can mint it as an NFT. The second key component of the Sandbox is their market, which is one place to sell and collect best assets or NFTs in the Sandbox. and this is where user-generated content can be sold from one player to another player. And like they say, this is just one place where you can buy and sell, because these NFTs exist on the blockchain. You can use any third-party marketplace that you want, so the assets that you own and create. The third key component of the Sandbox is their game maker. The game maker is really cool, and you can actually download the game maker already and both make your own games and try out other people's games, which I really recommend. And I will be walking you through how to download and play the Sandbox more towards the end of this video. But the game maker is for making and playing any game that you play. Imagine, and because it is user generated, the variety truly is immense. So then the fourth and the final component is just going to be the game player, which is kind of tied into the game maker. But for the most part, most people who play the Sandbox probably aren't going to be creating their own assets or even their own games. They are just going to be jumped in exploring the massive world that exists in the Sandbox. Metaverse, the next really important thing that we should dive a little bit deeper into in order to understand the Sandbox, is looking at Sand itself. Now, Sand is an ERC20 token that exists on Ethereum, and essentially that just means that it is a token that is on the Ethereum blockchain. It is not Coin blockchain or the Solana blockchain or the Phantasma. There is like a lot of different blockchains that are all doing very similar things, but the Sandbox Sand token is an ERC20, and I also believe it exists on Binance now. And these tokens kind of spread across different blockchains, but that's not super important to understand in order to understand what Sand is. So Sand is just the utility token used throughout the Sandbox ecosystem. It is the basis for transactions, and it is an ERC20 utility token built on the Ethereum blockchain, and there is a finite supply of just 3 billion Sand. So you know that there is never going to be more than 3 billion Sand created, and when a Sand jumps across from a theory come to like the Binance Smart Chain, some Sand on Ethereum literally has to get destroyed in order for it to get created on Binance or wrapped, however you want to think of it. So there is a finite amount, and there is never going to be more than 3 billion Sand, and that allows for it to exist kind of like Bitcoin as a potential store of value, especially as the Sandbox Metaverse just grows. And because Sand is the utility in the Sandbox Metaverse, its usage just grows and the demand for it grows, but the supply is kept, and that is what can lead to price appreciation. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but it's what's really cool about some of these metaverses that have supply kept coins and supply kept currencies, supply kept utility tokens. However, you want to think about it, the value per token. As the metaverses grow and the number of people that live in the metaverse increases, the value of each individual token probably going to be increasing over time. So if you do go to the Sandbox website, there are easily links here for you. Let's talk about another big factor that you need to understand in the Sandbox. It's really know what's going on, and this is a really cool aspect of the Sandbox called land. So the Sandbox Metaverse is made up of lands, and lands are parts of the world which are owned by players to create and monetize experiences. So players can own it for two reasons: one, to create their different games and stuff, and have a place in the world for people to actually try them on. But second, to monetize the games and experiences that people create, you need to have a place to put them. So a lot of people are actually buying land in the Sandbox because it is limited, and they are using it or planning on using it not to build games themselves, but to rent it out or let other people use it who want to build their own gaming experiences on the land. There will only limited lands, and the lands available which can be used to host a game. The plots, there is never going to be more, so the more and more people want to build games, eventually you got to buy land from someone else, like a game that's not very popular. Maybe it gets demolished and you put a new game on it. But what they are doing is they are creating the same supply and demand aspect of land that exists in real life, where if you want to live around Los Angeles, there is only so much land around Los Angeles, and that means that property values around LA continue to increase year after year as more and more people want to live there. Now let's not get into politics, but that demand dynamic might be changing, as now California actually has more people live than coming in because some crazy politics, but like I said, let's not get into that. It's the same dynamic with land in the sandbox. There is a limited amount and some things are really big in the sandbox. Like people are paying a lot of money, for example, to buy land right next to Snoop Dogg's mansion in the sandbox, because Snoop Dogg has plot land in the sandbox and is planning to throw in concerts and stuff in the sandbox. So people are trying to buy land around Snoop Dogg, or a Target bought a lot of land in the sandbox, and people are trying to buy land around a tier that makes the land prices in different places in the sandbox different, because the whole sandbox itself is limited and it's all great land to build on. I think that all land in the sandbox is going to have a lot of value appreciated if this game is a success going forward, and it's why I personally own land in the sandbox as well. So buying land in the sandbox is actually not that difficult at all. You can buy land either using the sandbox's marketplace, or you can check out OpenSea, and OpenSea is just one of the biggest NFT marketplace that exists so far. And I love checking in order to buy my land. But actually, before we look at land that is specifically for sale, let's take a look at the entire sandbox map, and you can kind of get a feel for how big of a world this actually is. So starting off, if we zoom in here, you can see each of these green and blue. It's a specific pieces of land. Now you can see some of these pieces of land, and people buy a large amount are actually bigger than the others. So this is a piece of land that is still for sale. Somebody is trying to sell it. You can see the location, and it's a pretty large piece of land. You can see the Binance actually owns some of these lands here. The sandbox itself owns a lot of land still that is in the sandbox. They are not selling it yet. They are either trying to build their own game experiences, or maybe they will sell it in the future. You can see Tori owns massive chunk of land in the sandbox. That's actually a really cool sleeper game. I think there is a ton of potential in by own land, a lot of land in the city. Pong's own land in the sandbox. Let's see, Binance actually owns a lot of land in the sandbox. Let's keep zooming out a little bit, and actually that might be the most zoomed out with that we can. There is a lot of people that own like a lot of land in the sandbox. We can have a dose going. I think that might just be some random person throwing out a Dogecoin meme, but I like it. We have the Smurfs actually bought a lot of land in the sandbox, so you can see it's just a massive world. Each piece of land is owned by different, sometimes massive game development companies or individuals that are planning on either selling the land later or renting it out to people that want to build gaming experiences, or build gaming experiences themselves that players can use, and that the owner of the land can monetize. So really, let's look at some of the land that is actually for sale. So right now we are an OpenSea, and I'm sorting by the lowest to highest price only by now. So the cheapest land that you can buy in the Sandbox right now is 3.5 EU. That's well over $10,000. So it is not cheap. Land in the Sandbox has definitely appreciated quite a bit. Some of the land that I bought in the Sandbox was like for under 0.5. So now it is appreciated quite a bit. I have some pretty good land right next to a land that the Sandbox themselves own. So I'm hoping they build a really fun experience there. And then now I'm just right next door to a really fun experience built by the creators of the world itself. But you can see some of this land that's just like out kinda in the middle of nowhere, but I mean you have no idea what other people are going to be like. All of these other little smaller land plots. Land is selling for quite a lot. Let's actually see what the highest last sales are. I'm kind of interested to see. So we got some Summer Jam auctions that it looks like just sold for a bunch. Let's see how much this actually sold for price history. Yeah, so it looks like someone paid 5,580 theory. This land, which is a lot of money. That's a lot of money, yeah. You can see there is a lot of opportunity. There is a whole economy that's like kind of getting built here in this brand new world and in this brand new metaverse. And there is going to be a lot of make money playing the game. There is going to be a lot of people that make money like beating quests and earning sand. But then also there is going to be a lot of people that make money from flipping land or flipping swords or like user generated assets, if like maybe a specific experience in the Sandbox someone plays it. This experience is so fun. It is going to blow up. Everyone's going to want to play it, so they go in and buy some of the limited assets in that game. And then when more people start learning about how fun that one game experience in the Sandbox is, all of a sudden assets for that game start skyrocketing. And all of a sudden the person who discovered it first is able to. A lot of financially of being one of the first people to realize like this is going to be a hit. There is a lot of opportunity in blockchain gaming, and hopefully this so far what I showed you has helped you understand some of the opportunity that exists specifically in the Sandbox game. So now I'm going to quickly jump over. We are going to head over to my desktop and I'm going to showing you how to do. Install and play the Sandbox, and then we will come back to the desk and wrap it up. Alright, welcome to my desktop. So creating your Sandbox account and downloading the game is really easy. Make sure you sign in. I highly recommend creating a MetaMask or Combat wallet or signing in with a Web3 wallet. But you can also sign in through Google, Twitter, Facebook, or whatever your account setup. I already have an account, so I'm just going to log in here really quick. And once you have your account set up, you don't even need to worry about any of the crypto stuff. Honestly, not until you are like this is fun and you want to start getting like more connected. Then I would highly recommend like linking your crypto account and checking out the marketplace and all of that. But for playing the game, you are going to need to do is on the left side here, navigate down to create. Now I know you are going to be like click alpha. That's the way to play, but it is not asking you to go to create, and you are going to want to download the game maker, because on the game maker is where you can also do a lot of gameplay. So it is only on Windows right now, but it is not on Mac. I believe it is going to be a mobile game, as well. Long term, I could be wrong about that, but I think that's part of their vision. For now, only Windows. So you are just clicking download a game maker and download it. So once you have the file downloaded, I'm just going to extract it so that we can run the installer. It just takes a little bit of time. So now we just follow the install wizard here. Next. I'm going to be installing it on my desktop. Sandbox maker. Here we go. It will do everything for us. So once your installation is complete, you can decide if you want to run the Sandbox game maker, which we are going just launch it because why not? And you can also decide if you want to be a desktop shortcut, which I will also let it be widely, and we will hit finish, and there we go. It's going to launch our Sandbox, which was built with Unity, which is kind of a competitor Unreal Engine. And now we can actually try out the Sandbox, which is super awesome. So this is the Sandbox Alpha. It is not a finished game, and the first time that you play, by the way, there is going to be a lot of additional stuff that is not going to be that along of loading screen. The second and third time, let's give this a second, validate and download all these files, and then we are going to hop into the Sandbox. So it is ready for me to log in and play, and this is the reason that you need to make sure you created your account before downloading it, because in order to actually play you need to be able to log in. So here we go. Alright, so you can see here that you can start creating your own game. You can drop into a template as well, but if you are just trying to check out this game to see if it is like a fun game that you would want to play, and then what you can actually do is hop all the way over the left side to the right side, a drafts gallery, and you can jump into some of the words that other people have been making it. There are a ton of pages of words you can check out right now. It kind of reminds me a bit kind of Minecraft. Everyone is just building whatever they can in their land. So this one looks pretty cool. We should check out this one. Dragon's Cure is what is called. So you just click it and you click play, then we load it up and we get to hop in. So this is really cool because on the Sandbox maker you don't even need to make your own. Well, he just crashed. That's not good. So this is, I guess, that is alpha. But yeah, you don't even need to make your own, because you can check out the other people's work and that other people created, which is really cool. Gives a ton of replayability and ton of variety. I think the issue that we are running into is compatibility with some older versions of the Sandbox. So I'm now trying to enable that, just created in January. Hopefully this one loads up fine. Backwards compatibility is going to be really important, or at least like allowing people's words to auto update when new versions release is going to be really important, so that people's words don't get outdated. That would kind of suck. Alright, here we are. We have loaded into the Sandbox. You can see it is low voxel kind of graphics, kind of like Roblox a little bit, but very cool. Oh, this actually feels really decent. Swinging my sword, I can jump, but also I can just run straight up to this single. Interesting. Alright, so there is a wolf here. Can I fight him? He doesn't care. It doesn't damage him. Alright, let's see what's going on this world. So because these were all user created, you are going to notice very early on a lot of potential issues. Okay, it looks like I actually can get out of that pond. It would suck if I just got, like locked in there and couldn't get out. So it looks like there is some lava in this world. Not much going on. It's too bad that we can't check out some of these like really original maps that people can. He hit me, but I miss him. He had the high ground and attic and taught me that that's all that matters. Alright, sweet. So you can kill some of these batteries. That's pretty fun. So one of the really cool things about the sandbox is going to be play to earn aspect of sandbox. I thought I died here. I'm not sure if I can get back. Come fight me. I'm gonna have to find their way up. Here he comes. Now what kind of cool move anyway? This is one of the worlds we just checked it out. You hit in, you can see all the NFTs that are in this world, which is actually none for this little one. It looks like someone was just messing around with the world, the creator here, when they made. They were just throwing together something. Let's jump into another world and see what we can find. Alright. So we have just hopped into another user created world here. This one looks a little bit bigger. There is across the map to him. There is some directions here. So all we have to do is make it across the map and we will be victorious. Well, okay, good. This cactus don't hurt us. I was wondering if we were going to get destroyed by the CAC die. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of enemy tropes, level 1. It says, alright, so this is pretty cool. This one actually includes levels and stuff. Alright, that's easy enough. We can get past them all. No problem, you are lame. Okay, wait. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to you. Alright, this is level 2, I'm guessing. Oh no, this is still level 1. These don't have swords. If you could just like farm up, get experience and like get super wealthy from just like some like mobs in a map, that would be pretty cool. Alright, I think it's going to be pretty easy to get past all these. Let's just see how quickly we can win. Not the problem. No, there is, okay. There is this, the furthest we can go. Alright. Well, we won. Nice work. We did it. Alright. So there you go. You just try out some of the user created worlds right now. As you can see, the quality varies. Esnedim. Can we get on? No, we can't. We can't get any further here, so that's as far as we can get. Yeah, you can just kind of play around with the sandbox a bit. I would highly recommend messing around with the actual world creator and potentially making some of your own worlds if you are interested in. Maybe buying some land or something. There are going to be some really high quality experiences that come on the sandbox also. A very important to note before we head back over to my studio is that Season 2 of the alpha is going to be coming out soon. And the alpha actually allows for the earning of sand, which is the cryptocurrency in order for completing guests in the alpha. So I highly recommend you check out the alpha Season 2. When then comes out, I will definitely alert you when that happens. But yeah, they would be a really great way to actually like experience the full. You have it. I hope you enjoyed that overview, beginner's guide to Sandbox. Hopefully this really helped you understand exactly what this world is, the roadblocks of blockchain gaming. So much potential, and I hope that you see that.
looking out for the opposition. We don't do this for mass appeal.